Okay, we're live. You look like a
Hi.
newscaster.
Yeah, well, I was prepared for tonight, or tried to be
I'm
anyway.
prepared too. I have a list.
Good. Last round you didn't, so that's awesome. All right, welcome back to BB Breakdown 902, where two Nova Scotian super fans get together every week and we discuss Big Brother. We love the game. We've been super fans since season 1 of Big Brother US. Started doing this with BB Can, and here we are, back for another round. So Lindsay's just uploading the link right now to Twitter and Facebook, and we'll get to our draft picks and why we picked each person. We're going to be doing it. We pick one returning house guest. I'm calling them the veterans. And then we pick one newbie. And for each person we pick, we're going to tell why. So we'll do one vet, one newbie, and then the other person will pick one vet, one newbie. And then as well as a little curveball, because one of the rumored twists is that because it's equally 8 vets to 8 newbies, that when, I don't know if it's going to happen with the HOH room or HOH round or whatnot, that the veterans and the newbies 1-to-1 are going to be aligned somehow. I don't know if this rumor is going to end up being true. I think that in terms of it being true, they should do this BB Can. Otherwise, I just think that this set of veterans they chose to return are just going to eat alive the new people that are coming into this house. What do you think on that rumored twist before we get started with our draft?
I didn't hear it. I'm doing all the technical stuff and I didn't hear it. What's happening? Repeat it really quickly.
Okay, so a rumor out there on Twitter that because it's equal 8 veterans to 8 newbies, that BB Can will probably twist it up and make one veteran and one newbie align together now. By either the veteran will choose the newbie or the newbie will choose the veteran. And then for the first little part of the game, they'll probably have to work together so that it evens out veterans going against the newbies. Because what I think, if they don't do that, I just think that the veterans are going to annihilate the newbies. Just eat them alive.
Yeah, that's probably true. They can't do that because, like, these people are friends in real life. Like, Cassandra and Ika and Edda have all hung out. Kevin's been there. Like, I think that if you do, you have to, like, switch it up. That being said, they always start with this number of people. So I don't know. Like, it might just be, like, go in and see what happens. And there are, like, the players that they have in there from the past, the vets, like, these are strong players who really are going back in with like a new plan. And so it might be like one for all for one kind of thing. Like they're on their own. I don't know.
I know. I'm super excited to see what's going to play out. As we know, they moved into the house yesterday. So things are already going on in the house. Little do we know, because we haven't started yet. So I'm just super, super excited for this season to get on the get-go, see the premiere, and then, of course, open up the live feeds for all of us.
Yeah, and I'm going to be in Florida the night of the premiere. And of course, this is like our biggest annoyance is when we watch the US feeds, we can't watch anything in the Canada, right? And now I'm going to the US and I can't watch the Canadian feeds. So, you know, life is just, it's just not fair.
First world problems. First world
really.
problems. All right, so we're going to dive into our draft. So I explained while Lindsay was uploading the links that we're going to do, we're going to pick one veteran and then we're going to pick one newbie and we'll explain why we picked them. And then after that, according to the veteran that we chose, we're gonna say who we think, if they get to choose players in the house, who they would choose and why. Okay?
Right.
So, good?
Right. Good.
Everybody's following what I just said, but you'll see when we get going. Okay, so I won last time. So Lindsay is the loser. The last
loser. You.
So you can be first to pick your vet and your newbie.
Oh, so Netta? No, I'm kidding. I won't do that to you. Okay, so I would like to choose first. Okay, my vet, 100% Cassandra. Cassandra. She's my favorite. I think she's going to be really fun to watch, and I think she's going to pair up with the. I don't know if she'll pair up with Netta, but I could see her pairing up with like Ika, and that would be really fun to watch. So I am going first with Cassandra.
Ooh. So if Cassandra has to pick a newbie, who do you think she would pick? It doesn't have to correlate with who you're going to choose for a newbie, but who do you think she'd pick out of all the newbies to be paired with?
Okay, I think she would choose Jackie, like the redhead ginger ninja that's gonna go in and represent the gingers. I think that Jackie's got like a probably like bubbly personality, and I think Cassandra would probably be like excited to work with her. That's my pick. Does that mean that Jackie's on my team? Is that how you're doing it?
No, not doing it according to that. I just would like to know like who you think the veteran would pick, and then once you're done saying that, then just pick your newbie.
Okay, Cassandra.
Okay, Cassandra, and who's your newbie on your team?
Jackie.
Jackie. Okay, awesome.
Oh, I don't know. Now I'm on the no, wait. Okay, no, Jackie. It's fine.
Cassandra and Jackie are your picks, and why are you picking Jackie?
I think that she's gonna align well with the girls, and I think that she'll be like kind of. She just seems a little bit more mature than the maybe a little than the other women going in there. So I think that she's gonna be strong, and I think the other ones seem like they might be controversial a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go on to my vet pick. I don't think it's going to be that shocking. If you watch our previous BB breakdowns, I am obsessed with Netta. I have been since season 2 of Big Brother Canada. I will argue to anybody willing to listen that she's one of the best Big Brother players I've ever watched. I'm super excited that she was given her second chance of redemption. Her video was very much talking about how she's going to play the same cutthroat strategy she did last time, except for this time she's not going to care if she comes across nice or not. I don't know if that's possible for Netta, because she, like, you know, she comes across it on TV, and when we met her in person, because yes, we met her in person, just as that great, endearing kind of person that just like is very chill and would get along with almost anyone. And so, and because she's a big person, I think that like a lot of the new people that even if they've watched previous seasons aren't really going to take her into consideration as competition, even though she's a great strategist, because she's so tiny. And oftentimes people are so focused, especially the first few like weeks, about like who's the big comp threat, who's the big physical threat, and who do we need to get out. Not thinking, oh, who's really getting along with everybody and in everyone's good books. So that's my pick, my number one bet, and pick to win is Netta. Not
gonna happen, but go ahead.
In terms of who I think she'll pick to be aligned with for a newbie, it's such a difficult decision of who I think she'll want to be aligned with if she has to play with them for at least a few weeks. I think like she would either pick the one you picked, the Jackie girl, or yeah. I think she would pick Emily, even though last time in the game she wanted a meat shield, and she still might do the same thing this time around, but still have that person, if she's like forced to be aligned with somebody, that like kind of offsets the target. And this Emily chick, she's a singer-songwriter out of Toronto. She seems pretty innocent, and she seems like somebody that would easily be molded by Netta's gameplay and, you know, strategic mindset. And so I think that she could use that to her advantage, and on top of that, still find that person in the house that's a comp beast to align herself with secretly. Yep. I think that she'll be more secret about like her meat shield. But
I don't think she'll ever go for a guy again to align with. I think she's been burned. So, but girls can be kind of vicious too, I suppose.
That's true. All right. So moving on, who's your next bet pick?
So you decided to go for Emily. You're sticking with, that's your second pick?
Yep.
Okay, my next bet pick, I am torn between Cindy and Ika. So I follow Ika on Snapchat and Instagram, and so she's a bit like feisty, and I think she seems like a lot of drama. So, and then Cindy is the opposite. She's drama, but she's also very strategic. So I think my next pick is going to be Cindy with an S.
Ooh. And why?
I think she's got strategy. I think she's a comp beast. I think she's really strong. And I think like this is like in a sense her third time back in the game, because she got out and then she got back in. And so I think she's really gonna go in with like a good strategy, and I think she'll align with the right people. I could see her working well with Kevin. And so I think she's just going to be smarter this time, and she's not going to play flighty. People know that she's good, so I think she's going to play up that she's really good, and then I think she's just going to like dominate. She just has to be a little bit careful because last time she got caught when she was trying to be sneaky.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So Cindy is my.
Okay, and then who would be your newbie pick for Cindy to pick, not necessarily for who you have to pick?
I think Cindy would go for Dre. Just because she seems pretty funny and like also pretty feisty, and I think Cindy is not going to do the guy thing this time. Like she might like fall for someone, but I don't think that she's going to want to align. She was very like girl power, so I think I could see her picking Dre.
Okay, and who is your newbie pick going to be?
My newbie pick is going to be I'm gonna go for Dylan, the boxing guy.
He was number one on my newbie pick. Darn
yeah.
it,
I think he could be really interesting. He's older. He's 30. And I think, a lot of the other guys are like 22 and stuff like that. So I can see them being a little bit like childish, and I think he's going to stay out of the drama. I think he'll just kind of keep his head down and play, but he's going to be a comp beast. So, because I mean, obviously he's strong, but I don't know how smart he is, or like that's not fair to say. I guess I shouldn't say smart. I'm just meaning like how like strategic he is. And so if he's strategic, he's got the power, and he's got the strength. He could be an amazing player.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, no,
I did my homework this time.
Good. My thoughts on him is he's a competitive boxer, and he's won the Canadian title. So he really like competitive boxing, and especially on a national level, is a pretty big deal. It a lot of mental stress on top of physical stress. So I think that those skills combined will work really well in the game. And I felt like through his video, he just seemed like a very relaxed kind of, like you said, go with the flow personality. And I think going into this with so many veterans that are really going to be cunning and game orientated, and really they're looking to prove themselves the winner this time, because all of them are in it to win it, really. I think that he would be the type of person that the veterans would want to align with, for the fact he's got a good physique and a good comp beast who probably
does have a good build.
And I'm hoping that he'll kind of lay low like the first few HOHs anyways, if they're super competitive and physical competitions, so that he'll kind of downplay the fact that his physique is on point. So I hope that it's interesting to see if he'll disclose that he is into competitive boxing as well. I wonder if he'll try and hide that, similar to Kevin hiding his, poker playing in Kevin's season. But we shall see. Okay, awesome. So I guess I'll move on to my next vet pick. My next vet pick is Gary. I love him. I loved him season 1. I loved him post Big Brother, following him on his, and I don't, this is the hard part with the vet picks. Like, you follow them after they get outside the house, and you grow this adoration for them as super fans. And so I don't know if I'm picking with my heart for these vet picks, or if I'm picking like how I should be picking strategically to win this draft. But anyhow, I do think Gary will make it far.
He touched your baby.
He did. He touched my belly in line when we were at the Big Brother Canada tryouts. Lindsay was trying out. So he, I don't know what, he's charismatic. He gets along really well with everyone. He is a really in-your-face big personality, but in his video, he said he was going to try and be more strategic this time around. It'll be interesting to see if he can actually follow through with that.
I think he will, though. I think he will because I think, like, you know, when he was really young, he had never really lived on his own, and now he's had like a taste of fame. He's had a taste of, you know, a job. And I also think, like, you know, he seems just more mature, and I think that he'll play well. You know, he'll still be himself. He'll be glitter and glam and all that jazz, but I think like, people just grow up, right? So I think I could see that for him.
I hope it for him. I'm interested to see how he'll play this game this time around, and who he'll align with. Like, I'm really interested to see who he's going to align with, who's going to be his person, and
Mm-hmm.
who he's going to trust in this game where he knows all these past Big Brother players' games and how they thought through the games when they were playing it because he watched it. And I'm just so interested to see who he's going to align with, bet wise and as well newbie wise. I can see him like kind of corralling the newbies up and trying to be the leader of a newbie alliance, but we'll see. I don't know. But in terms of who he would choose to be his person, I could kind of see him liking the ginger chick Jackie, and I can also see him liking I don't know out of the vets who he would like, who he's going to align with. Maybe Ika because she's fiery. I'm not sure, but I guess Jackie. I think he would want to be his pick, and I can kind of see him probably being stuck with someone if he's last to pick. I could, what's his name there? Not Dimitri.
Okay, who do you choose as your newbie, or who would you choose?
Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent about Gary. Sorry, guys. My next newbie in accordance is Mark.
Oh, he was my pick. Yeah.
I think he's going to do well because he's a bartender. He's used to dealing with lots of different personalities, smooshing them because that's what bartenders do best. And I don't know, he seems young, he seems likable, he seems like he'll get along with the bros, that he might get it maybe lean towards a showmance, which could also aid him. And he also seems like the type of personality that maybe some of the vets might want to work with if he's good at competitions, which he will be. So I'm thinking Mark. I'm going with Mark for my newbie pick.
I can see him in a showmance for sure. I also see him as like the type of guy that's like he's friends with everybody and stuff like that. Oh, I just moved my whole computer. Okay.
All right. You're up next, my friend.
Okay, so my vet pick is Ika. I'm gonna go Ika. We talked about her a couple of times. She's fiery. She's got an opinion. She's loud. Sometimes that's a great thing and sometimes that's a really bad thing. I don't know in her case. I do know that having her on my team will make me feel good because I think she's hilarious and funny and I enjoy watching her. So I'm just gonna be like, oh, that's my team member representing. Yeah, so I think she's great. And I think if anything, even if she doesn't win, even if she doesn't do well in the first like 3 weeks, she's gonna be entertaining as hell. So I'm gonna enjoy it. So I pick Ika on my team.
Perfect.
Um,
I had Ika at the bottom of my vet pick, not because I don't enjoy her, because I love her. Because I just think that she wants to go in the game and like redeem herself and, you know, play more of a game rather than, you know, blowing up for little reasons. But you know, it's hard when you're in that house and the pressure of well, I wouldn't know because I've never been in there, but from what I can tell, being in that house, not being able to really to talk to anybody else, and mostly it's game talk, trying to redeem yourself and go farther than you did before, that's got to be a mind fuck. And then on top of that, being with other veterans that know the game, because some of these veterans probably thinking they're going in like with just them as the veteran, maybe, from what I can tell from the video. And I don't know. I see it, the pressure caving, and ultimately you can only act a certain way that's out of character for so long. And if she does make it farther, she's bound to come out being Ika, which is fiery and which I love to watch. It's just, I don't know that that will take her to the end.
It probably won't, but if she aligns herself well, and I don't want to say who I think she's going to align with because I might at the end of this, but I could see I have a feeling who she might align with. So, my vet or my newbie pick, I'm going to go Dre.
Okay.
I'm sticking very female focused here, but I think that the girls are going to be strong. I think each of these women that I've chosen so far, especially on the vet side of it, have really, really strong personalities. And I think they're going to be really, like, either if they band together, that's great. And even if they don't, they're going to be strong on their own. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because the International Women's Day was this week, but I really think that these girls are going to be great. And I think Dre seems to me to be the most likely to be aggressive, not scared to speak her mind. And I like that she questioned the interviewer when they were asking her questions. Like, I think she's a playful personality, and I don't think she's afraid to say what's on her mind. So that could be great.
Yeah, for sure. I had her as my next pick. I think that she offers this level of maturity that's what ran through to me in the video. And that she just like one of those personalities that all the house guests are not going to be like worried about.
Yeah.
And that she'll get along with everyone and play really low key the first half of the game. And then I think if she aligns herself right, she can make it to the end, like in a strong alliance.
Right.
And I think she's one of those people that, like, if she does have a secret with her alliance, she's not going to want to be like blabbermouthing it everywhere, which is really important in the Big Brother game, because the smallest little thing, when you're in there long enough and you're on slop, little thing can get you evicted sometimes. So I think that she has potential to make it really far in the game.
Agreed.
Okay, well, moving on. My picks. My next pick is going to probably shock you. So for the vets, the last three people left standing are Kevin, Dallas, and Bruno. But my next pick is going to be Dallas.
What?
So, do you want to know why?
Why?
I think that the way Dallas played the first time around and the way he went out, he really has nothing to lose going in this time at all. He has nothing to lose, and he has nothing to really prove.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the other people that are in there, their games, like for every different reason, were remembered in Big Brother history. Even Bruno's game was remembered because Bruno was remembered as that person that everybody got along with and saw as a father figure and trusted and didn't want to kick him out because he was too nice. And so I think that for Dallas, he's going in. I think he probably learned from the first time around not to be so fired up all the time, and to keep his cards a little closer to his chest.
Okay.
And I think he's probably going to be the one to learn the most from what he did in the first game, and to be the least hard on himself.
Okay.
Voted out so early, right?
Yeah.
So because he has less to prove, I think he'll make it farther into the game, and I think I can see him being in a really strong bro alliance.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyhow, and being kind of undercover about it this time around, and not being so like out in the open about this is my alliance and I'm ride or die. So anyhow, I think he'll hopefully do better than he did first time around. So Dallas is my next pick.
Okay.
I know. Shocking.
East Coast, though.
He is East Coast.
He's our only other East Coast besides who?
The only one.
He's it. That's it.
Yeah. So Dallas would be my pick. In terms of pick to align himself with, I think he would align himself with somebody that's like not so strong, just to kind of like take the target off of him. So I could even see him throwing it out there, aligning himself with someone like William, which you think that he would never get along with in the game, but aligning himself with someone like that to throw the target off of him. And hopefully it's not going to be one of those things that if William goes on the block, Dallas goes on the block. But
I think
Well,
he's going to align himself with the dudes. I think he's going to go dude all the way, but I could be wrong. It's a
we'll see.
strategy.
Um, and then in terms of the next newbie I'm going to pick, the next newbie on my number list here is Dimitri. I think he's going to be another strong guy in the house, super competitive, high probability for a showman. And I don't know, he was very charismatic in his video, even though he was super confident and a little bit cocky.
He kept calling himself a meathead.
I know, but he might not actually be like that. He might have just been doing that for the cameras. He might surprise us. Because if you can remember back last season, Phil's video, and he was like super cocky and claiming to not want to get in a showman's and then he ended up being some little puppy in the house and super words. Who knows? They sometimes in their pre-entry video, especially when they're new, they just tend to like play it up for production, and then they you're like, oh, what is this? Because remember, Rochelle's video was so like funny and endearing and charismatic, and then she got in the house and she was quiet the whole time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He might surprise us. And for some reason, I've picked a lot of guys this round.
Yeah, I want women.
All right. Well, that's my next pick.
Okay. So my vet pick is Bruno. I'm going Bruno.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going Bruno. I think he's smart. I think people love him. I think he's not a threat. He is a bit older, but I don't think that's held against him in this particular case. And I think he's, yeah, I love the guy. I think he's so lovely. And I think it's great that he kind of became a fan favorite, because even when he was in the house, everyone's like, oh, cool, Bruno, whatever. But then I think he was just so charismatic and lovely that everybody just grew to love him. And I feel like I didn't get enough of Bruno, so I want him on my team just to even, like, to have somebody who's really, like, strong, kind, good player. Just, he's good people. He's what Canada's made up of, I think. And so that's why I want him on my team. I like him a lot more than Kevin. So I don't know why, because I remember when we started doing this, Kevin was on, and Kevin was our first pick. Like, everybody wanted Kevin, and now he's our last vet pick. But we'll talk about that when it's your show. But yeah, I think Bruno will align with like one of the meathead guys. Like, I think I could see him going with Mark or Dimitri, even Dylan. I could see Dylan too. I think he's gonna do that because I think he feels more comfortable. He's also a father, and these girls are going to be running around in bikinis, and like he's just, I think he's married. Like, I don't think that appeals to him at all. I think he's just there for like the love of the game. So I think he's just going to want to like dude it up and enjoy his time in the summer in the house. So that's my pick.
All right.
And then the last person, I'm going William. I can't go for Karen. I'm sorry. William might be one of those people like last to pick, but he's the one to win. I don't know. But he seems really like, I don't know. I got an annoying vibe from him in the video, and I could just see him rubbing people the wrong way. And he said that he's not scared to like go behind people's back and do backstabbing moves. And like, that's the great kind of player that you want. But then that person, I think he's not going to be very good at keeping secrets. I think he's going to be one of those people like puts himself in compromising positions and then won't know how to get out of them. Like, I don't think there's a ton of strategy there, so that's why he was my last pick.
Okay. All right. Well, happy that I was Kevin. I think Kevin is the best of both. He's strategic, and he's been proven to win competitions. He's also been proven to get along with the majority of the house. Where his game went wrong last season was, of course, getting in showmance and developing that showmance alliance that, you know, people want done after. So I think that this time around, he'll probably try to avoid the showmances, play both sides of the house, hopefully a little better than last time. Excuse me. And just learn from his mistakes. He's a very successful poker player from what I follow on Twitter. And so he knows how to bluff, and he knows how to just manipulate his way through who's lying and who's not, right? From all that poker experience. So I think he's going to be a solid pick. I don't know that he'll make it to the end, but if he aligns himself with the right people, i.e. Netta, hopefully, hopefully maybe he'll be in a final 3 with Netta or something along that lines and make it far. So I'm happy with him being my last bet pick. I think in terms of who he would pick to align himself with, I think he might go for like a Dre. Someone that's very cool, calm, and collected, and that he can't really read. And I think he would align himself with that person because if he can't read them, then he can't manipulate them in the house. And so if he is partnered with her, then she has to trust him, right? So
Right.
I think he would be a Dre type character. And Karen, I guess, will be my final newbie pick. And I'm not too disappointed with that pick. I know she is quite significantly older from the rest of the house. She is 53, and the house guests range between the ages of their 20s to their 30s. So she's got a 20-year age gap. However, she actually was number 7 on my little house guest forum of who I wanted to pick in what order. And the reason being is because she is a real estate agent. So she is used to dealing with deals and negotiations and back and forth. So she works well under pressure. And hopefully she'll be able to be a motherly role. I'm not role model, but I'm not sure that she will be with the amount that she cussed in the video. But maybe somebody might see the cussing as endearing, but I just found it kind of cheesy when I was watching her.
I found it like she was trying to be younger by doing it.
I don't know. It just didn't seem real. It didn't seem like her natural way of talking. It felt forced. So I don't actually think she'll be swearing that much in the house. I do think she'll hopefully take on a motherly role. And for that reason, people will trust her, and maybe she'll make it halfway through the season and be not the first person kicked out, because as we've seen in previous seasons, the older players tend to be kicked out the first couple of weeks. So
yeah,
so she's my last pick. So before ending our BB breakdown 902, do we want to talk about like who we think is going to be aligned with who in terms of veterans?
yeah, I think totally. I think that keep in mind that Kevin and Cindy were in the same season. Cassandra just played, so she's fresh. Ika is hilarious, so I don't know. I think that like it's going to be really interesting. And it's always like you try to predict what's going to happen, and you can never predict. And that's like the joy of this show. I'm so excited because we get live feeds. I'm in it, but I'll be in it mostly on the 25th when I get back from Florida.
Oh, I was actually just following some of the things that people were tweeting us. Sorry. I totally just tweeted off.
Yeah, that was like me earlier. I just like spaced out. All I said was like, it's going to be an amazing season. I cannot wait to watch. I think that there might be some alliances or showmances. I don't think with anybody really on the vet side. I don't think anybody like I don't see Cassandra doing that. I think Cassandra's came to play. And like when we watched last season, Cassandra was our first one being like I think she was one of the last people we chose. We thought she was going to be like Victoria. We were like, oh, who cares? And she was so fantastic. And I don't think we really realized until about halfway in the middle of the season how great she was. And so now people are really rooting for her. Like I know you had the poll go up on our Twitter the other day, at BB Canada or Big Brother, whatever it is. But the reality is like I really think people want her to do well and will be rooting for her. But you got to keep in mind all these other people watched last season. So Ika saw her play, Netta saw her play. They're BB Can fans, so they know what's up. Do you align yourself with that person? Do you get screwed by them? I don't know. Like I don't know. I think it's always interesting.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I wanted to ask you though, were you surprised about the people they brought back in?
This is such a tough question because I was really secretly hoping that this season would be an all-star cast, so it would be all veterans, it being the 5th season. I don't know when and if ever they'll do a full all-star, but like it's do you think like this is my thing is like Netta is such an iconic player, Gary is such an iconic player. Um, and in a sense, Ika, she's very memorable as well as one of those like iconic Big Brother moments with her shredding the letters from home. And so if they, and Cassandra as well, she played a great game as well. I loved her game. However, if these like huge personalities that everyone knows and loves from the first 5 seasons of Big Brother are now on it as like a returnee versus new house guest season, like will they ever be potentially in the runnings for all stars? Do you know what I mean? Like will they bring them back again for all stars? That's my question, because I would love the chance to see John and Netta play again together. I would, and just see if it would be different. And
But that would be really weird because like they were a couple, right? So then it's like that's a different level of like that's not a game anymore. That's a hey, you know this thing that happened to my mom and my dad or what, like that's a really weird dynamic to put like an ex in a house. I don't know. I don't know that you're right. Like I don't know that they would put them back in, but like Dallas, like Kevin, okay. But like I wanted like yeah, I definitely wanted John. I wanted Phil or Kelsey to go back in, not together, but one of the two. I am happy about Cassandra. Cassandra, I was like, oh my god, thank goodness. Cindy, I'm like, okay. Ika, yeah, you're right. Like with the shredding thing was great, but like I wanted like Sarah Miller to go back in, but she's also got kids. She probably was like, I'm gonna do it one time and that's that. Anil would have been great back in there. But and even like Gary, I'm like, okay, well, like, but like Gary's been a correspondent for the show and been like the fashion person comes in, like he doesn't need this. So I'm surprised that like he's going back in just because like I felt like he had kind of like left, and like Jeff Schroeder a little bit like had like Jeff Schroeder going back into the Big Brother Canada or Big Brother house now would make no sense because he's like the CBS correspondent and he does YouTube and so and like ET and all this kind of stuff. So why is Gary going back in? Like I'm a little bit confused. And also Gary got kicked out and then went back in again because people loved him so much. So like this is like these people have had their shots. So it would have been like it would have been nice to see Phil play by himself without his brother, or Nick play without his brother. But these are just my opinions. I could go on. I mean, I don't make these decisions. I just like I guess for me, Kevin, Dallas, Gary, and Ika were kind of like, oh, okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I would have liked to see Ramsey go back in and get his
Greg! Oh, Melissa! Yes! That's amazing. I'm tweeting that out right now.
Because
keep going.
The reason being is because Ramsey was removed from the house for an unforeseen circumstance. It had nothing to do with the game. I would have liked to see where his game went, like post him having to be leave for family reasons, and that was totally out of his control. And I think any Big Brother player had that happen to their parents would have left the exact same way Ramsey did, head held high, and family comes first. So I don't really think that I was so expecting him to just be put back in there, because this seems like it's, in terms of the veteran cast, it's a redemption kind of season. Like, you know, like Kevin got voted out in that triple eviction, right? And so that's never really happened before. And so he's thrown back in there. That I can see. The Bruno thing, I was like a little, oh, I know he was well liked in the house, but really, like after the house, like everyone, you know, in terms of I guess looking at Twitter.
Yeah, well, Twitter, there's lots of comments from Big Brother Ant, who I guess is watching right now, which is really cool. Hello. He's wanted Sarah Miller back, Ramsey back. Why is Dallas in the house?
I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why he got thrown back in the mix, because for me, he doesn't seem to be very active in like the post Big Brother like world. Like he went back to his family, went back to his regular life, and everybody else has kind of kept, well, maybe he has, I don't follow him on Twitter, so maybe he has really like been that voice when the show was on. But for me, he wouldn't have been one of those people that I wanted to see play again. I would have loved to see Allison from season 2 play again too.
Yeah, she's great.
She was dynamic, and she's East Coast, so that would have been fun to watch.
What's the guy? Oh, what's the guy with the beard? And he was so sexy, but he was gay, and then I was like, had to give it up.
Yes, but then see if
who? What's his name?
Kenny. You put him in this time, then he can't come back for All Stars, right?
Yeah, but like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but like All Stars equals Netta. You can't not have Netta in All Stars. You can't not have Gary in All Stars. So this seems like a cop out, like in a weird way. Like throw in the B-list ones and bring in the heavy hitters for the All Star. Like, I don't know, but maybe like Netta was like, this is the only time I can do it, or whatever. I don't know. But your points about Ramsey are true, and Ramsey's like obviously like. I love him. He's fantastic. He's fantastic on all social media. I love his mother. He's moved quite a bit. I follow along. I'm just shocked that Ramsey's not in here, especially like Dallas Ramsey. Like it's just
I'm also
Bruno, like I get, but Bruno, like, I don't know. Ramsey's my big, yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
The last person I'm surprised that's not in there, and then we'll probably wrap it up until next time. But I'm really surprised they didn't ask Peter Brown. So as we all heard, Sideshow, where they do like that post interview or post exit interviews, was canceled, and now they're going to do like a live Facebook event post show. So I was surprised Peter wasn't asked to go back in. I don't get it. Like, he is very well known in the Big Brother world, and as well has quite the following. And I would have loved to see him play again, because I thought he played a great game, and it was just so sad how he left. And I followed him so much on feeds when he was like sit in the hammock, like swaying back and forth, like trying to strategize how he can keep, or how Jill and Emmett will keep him over keeping Gary like outside, and when he was all alone and they were all up doing their own thing. And so anyway, I would have loved to see him play again. I loved his game, and I love listening to his theories and his Big Brother analytics on the Shield show. So
yeah, and I think like Alec, is his name Alec or Alec?
Alec.
Yeah, Alec. Like I'm kind of glad he's not in it. He's not my favorite. But I think that I'm surprised that girl that was on the first season then like was really popular. I forget what her name was, like Liza.
Yeah, Liza.
I feel like they probably like were like hard no. I don't know why, but I think she seems like somebody who would want to be back in there in a big way. But
I thought they were going to throw us a curveball though on the second set of house guests. I thought they were going to throw us a total curveball and throw Sabrina back in.
oh my God, can you friggin' imagine? I don't think she'd do it. I don't know why. They were so secretive with this. Like, we just found out this week who was coming back. This has been like an interesting, as somebody who works in marketing, an interesting marketing ploy, because maybe they just didn't want people to like bombard them and like, you know, like put them out there. And then like, I don't know, but like a part of me kind of thinks like, we were like, everyone knew it was going to be some kind of like vet kind of thing. It had to have been, but I wanted like, it's season 5, do an all-star. I'm surprised they're mixing it up like this. Like, I guess maybe they'll wait. It seems weird to do like Big Brother 7 all-star. Like 5 seemed like the one you do it with. We always knew that like it was going to be some kind of all-star, but to do half and half, bummer. Anyway, we could go on for hours apparently. But we still have lots of viewers, so that's promising. Obviously, you guys are as invested as we are. Hopping Saturday nights.
We're fanatics, literally. If the live feeds were on right now, I'd have so much more to say. I'm so curious to see how they're all doing in there. I'm so nervous for the veterans, though. Like, if for some reason, like, they do have to play with another person, and if that other person, for whatever unknown circumstance, has to go, like if they get nominated, then the veteran gets nominated too, and those two people are on the block. Oh, I'm so nervous for Netta. I'm so nervous for her. I hope that she made it far enough that she had a good pick with which noob she wanted, and was smart enough that if it was an HOH competition, the first vet that falls gets to pick their newbie that they're playing with. Oh, I hope she fell first or second, because it could be super detrimental to her game. I'm sure she'll find out a way to make it work. I'm also super interested to see if Cassandra and her will align
They
or
will.
butt head as, you know, who's the biggest female player in Big Brother, because Cassandra, you know, she was just in it last season. She's gotten lots of fanfare about how good of a player she was, which she was. She's also received a lot of controversy in the past few weeks about, like, did she play a good game or was it Tim's game? And she can't, you know, like, she kind of just played such a good game because she was aligned with Tim and Tim helped keep her
Oh my
safe.
God, how
So,
could I feel terrible like a big brother. Like we are fanatics, but like Tim, it's not even going to be nearly as fun without Tim in the house.
oh, and yeah, so I'm just so interested to see where the cards are gonna be laid. I would be super stoked, like I had put on our Twitter account, if those four veteran girls could come together and be an all-star girl alliance and make it far, because they really have everything. They have Ika's fieriness that's not afraid to tell you, like, hit the road. They've got Cindy's comp beast, you know, style, if they like put her in the girl veteran. And then they got Netta and Cassandra, who are great at like manipulating the house and like getting into every conversation and like being in control of what's going on in the house. So they've got two great strategic players, one comp beast and one fiery like shield, you know, in Ika. So for those four girls, if they can keep it together, not go against each other, not, you know, have any insecurities about one of the other girls, as happened in season 2, with Ika, like, you know, there was a girl alliance and then the girl alliance got frayed because they started to get a little bit like insecure in a way, like in terms of, oh, what's she saying about me? Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know how girls get, they talk a lot, whereas guys will just go up to the other guy and solve the problem and it'll be done with and they won't think twice about it. Girls tend to dwell on it and hold it in their back pocket, as I would say, you know?
We'll
So
see. We'll see. These girls are much smarter than like the normal. I don't know. We'll see. I think they're going to be pretty feisty, and I think if they talk, they're going to like go at each other right to their faces. They're not scared. None of these people are scared. The only person I could see, no, like each of these women, especially on the vet team, are going to be like, "You want to know what I think? Here's what I think."
yeah. I
Anyway, we could go on forever. Apparently.
Thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight, threw comments at us. We'll try and get back to them when the show ends.
Yeah, and
And
thank you for leaving comments while we were chatting. It was really fun having the interaction. It was great.
it was. The other thing is we'll be posting our next live show. It'll be sometime next week, probably when Lindsay gets back from Florida. We'll go live. We'll discuss live feeds. We'll discuss the live shows. You can throw any questions you want us to talk about on the show. We'll open that up for forum as well. And because we love interacting with people while we're talking as well. So it was great. Any last words, Linz, before we leave?
No, just that I'm excited and I can't wait to get back on the 25th of March to watch it all. And then I assume we'll probably talk that weekend to all of you, which is probably like the 26th or 27th. And I'll have lots of thoughts. I'm really excited. Silly America, why don't you have Big Brother Canada on your normal channels?
I know.
And also, look how cool my shirt is. It says, I'm so Scotian.
Yes, we're proud Nova Scotians.
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
That's why our name is 902. Okay, those are our closing remarks. Thanks for joining in. Retweet our show if you liked it to all your followers, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.